Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, April 25th, 2023. In today's passage of Scripture, we're looking at a call experience of a few of the disciples. It reminds me of my own call to ministry. My own call to ministry was not so much a reversal of direction as it was a redirection of the direction I was going in my life. I was in college, getting a math degree, as it appears, and had several opportunities, one of them being to go on a mission trip. And as part of the mission trip, was given the opportunity to do some teaching in public and began to understand that God was going to use me in that direction of public teaching and speaking. The call to preach was clarified as opportunity was given to serve. I remember the first time I was asked to preach. I was helping out with a small church in Bernalillo, New Mexico, and was after the Sunday morning service, the pastor said to me, "I'm not feeling too good. You need to preach for me tonight." I said, "Do what?" He says, "Tonight, you're preaching." Okay. And so I went home and did the best I could to prepare what I thought was a message, and went and did the best I could. And mostly the folks said, "That's okay. You'll get better with more practice." But began to realize that God had indeed placed a call on my life for that kind of ministry. In Mark chapter 1, verses 19 to 22, we're going to read about the call experience of some of the disciples. A little further up the shore, Jesus saw Zebedee's sons, James and John, in a boat repairing their nets. He called them at once, and they also followed him, leaving their father Zebedee in the boat with the hired men. Jesus and his companions went to the town of Capernaum. When the Sabbath day came, he went into the synagogue and began to teach. The people were amazed at his teaching, for he taught with real authority, quite unlike the teachers of religious law. Here Jesus comes to two fishermen in the midst of their daily activities. Every day after the fishing was done, the fishermen would always mend their nets so they'd be ready to go. The next early morning they went out to go cast their nets for fish. And it was just part of their daily routine to fix the nets, make sure everything was ready for the next day. And he catches them at their task, and he tells them, "Come, follow me." He called them at once. And out of everybody in the boat, James and John realized they were the two being called. And so they answered. They came up out of the boat, basically quit their job with their dad on the spot, and left the business with their dad and the hired hands. Left the nets unfinished. They changed the work they had to do. They answered and came up out of the boat and went to go follow Jesus. They went to Capernaum, which was a town in the Galilee area that they were familiar with and had spent much time in. And it came to the Sabbath day. And Jesus went into the Sabbath day, and was often their custom. They'd invite whoever wanted to come and share a lesson. And so he began teaching at the Sabbath, at the synagogue on the Sabbath. And it says that the people were amazed with his teaching. It wasn't the normal run-of-the-mill teaching they'd come to expect. This was different. Jesus taught with real authority. He didn't just tell them old, long-remembered stories. He didn't just recite easily readable facts. He didn't just regurgitate someone else's words. He didn't read the latest message he picked up online or from somebody else. No, he taught with real authority. But something happens when you hear teaching with real authority. You need to decide what you're going to do with that authority. Are you going to ignore it and hope it doesn't pertain to you? Or are you going to yield to that authority? You see, it's amazing in our society what happens when people choose not to follow authority. When the policeman hollers at you, stop, chances are you're going to stop. When that authority is given, you best yield to it. Well, here comes Jesus, and he taught with authority. This week, may you and I yield to the authority of Jesus as he teaches us through his word. God bless you.